when a H-6K, God of War, bomber, with a wingspan exceeding 30 meters and capable of carrying tons of precision-guided munitions, soars with composure over the vast expanse of the South China Sea, tracing a steady flight path above the faintly visible reefs of Huangyan Island. What strategic wisdom, technological prowess, and unwavering commitment to peace underpin this scene? This is not a movie scene, but a real moment from January 2024, when naval and air forces of the Southern Theater Command of the People's Liberation Army conducted a series of combat readiness patrols in the territorial waters and airspace around Huangyan Island and its surrounding areas. Moreover, this was not an isolated action, but a continuous, routine combat readiness presence throughout the entire month of January. More thought-provoking is the official release of a schematic map showing the flight path of the formation, comprising H-6K bombers and fighter jets, after reaching Huangyan Island, cruising southeastward. This line drawn in the sky, seemingly simple, carries profound meaning. Like a critical move by a chess player in a complex game, it both consolidates ground positions and signals far-reaching intentions. The multiple messages conveyed behind it warrant layer-by-layer analysis and careful consideration. First, we must understand the context in which this flight path map was drawn. Recently, tensions and strategic maneuvering in the South China Sea, particularly between China and the Philippines over areas like the Second Thomas Shoal and Huangyan Island, have escalated. Encouraged and supported by external powers like the United States, the Philippines has taken frequent provocative actions, including the unilateral and illegal establishment of a so-called exercise zone. According to analysis by Professor Yang Xiao of the Institute of Maritime Strategy at the China Institute of Contemporary International Relations, this so-called exercise zone not only unreasonably encroaches upon China's traditionally administered waters in the South China Sea, but more outrageously, it even encompasses one of the baselines for China's territorial sea, the Scarborough Shoal. This is no longer mere provocation, but an attempt to fundamentally challenge and erode China's indisputable sovereignty over Huangyan Island through paper operations, creating facts on the ground. The Philippines' subsequent demand for a no-fly and no-sail zone further seeks to fabricate the illusion of exclusive rights in public opinion and legal perception. Yet, in the military domain, truth is forever grounded in the effective projection of strength. The Southern Theater Command's bomber formation publicly cruising through the relevant airspace represents the most direct and forceful power response. Its steel wings clearly declare to the world, no matter how ambitious certain forces may be in drawing circles on paper, China's territorial waters and airspace remain under the solid control and protection of the Chinese military. You declare your paper no-fly zones. I conduct my routine patrols. This flight path is the steel needle bursting the bubble of illusion, the most thorough, on-the-ground rebuttal to all illegal claims, proving beyond doubt that such unilateral prohibitions are nothing but unenforceable, empty words on paper. This method of negating unlawful assertions through tangible presence and freedom of action carries far greater persuasive power than any diplomatic rhetoric. Now, let's zoom in on the star of this patrol, the H-6K bomber. For military enthusiasts, the God of War has long been a household name. As China's profoundly upgraded, transformative new medium to long-range strategic bomber, based on the H-6 platform, the H-6K has achieved comprehensive leaps in range, payload capacity, information technology, and precision strike capabilities. It is no longer a traditional bomb truck, but rather an airborne heavy hammer, capable of carrying advanced standoff strike weapons like the CJ-20 air-launched cruise missile and the YJ-12 supersonic anti-ship missile, possessing formidable strategic deterrence and operational strike capabilities. Deploying such a formidable weapon system into the airspace around Huangyan Island and integrating it into a coordinated strike formation with fighter jets sends an unmistakable signal. From a tactical perspective, this demonstrates the Southern Theater Command Air Force's exceptional capabilities in long-range strikes, integrated system coordination, sustained vigilance, and operations in complex environments. The H-6K's combat radius, combined with its long-range weaponry, provides sufficient deterrence against any high-value targets in the South China Sea and beyond. The formation's southeast-bound patrol was far from aimless cruising. It likely combined specific battlefield reconnaissance, familiarization with pre-planned attack routes, and joint drills with surface vessels or space-based systems. The public disclosure of such flight paths demonstrates China's full confidence in its operational trajectories and complete mastery of the relevant airspace situation. This constitutes a strategic deterrence approach by unambiguously showcasing our capabilities, presence, and operational scope. We exert potent psychological and strategic pressure. Potential provocateurs must clearly recognize that any rash actions could invite consequences they cannot bear. The Southern Theater Command sustained, high-frequency, and high-profile combat readiness patrols near Huangyan Island, particularly the deliberate disclosure of patrol routes for strategic platforms, like the H-6K bomber, constitutes an increasingly stern warning against the Philippine government and its backers escalating dangerous actions. In recent years, certain political forces in the Philippines, incited by external nations, have persistently attempted to breach bilateral consensus. They reneged on agreements regarding the grounding of warships at Rini Reef, instigated incidents in waters around Huangyan Island and Tilian Reef, significantly expanded defense cooperation with the United States, introduced more external military forces into the South China Sea, and openly advanced the militarization of the region. These actions have severely undermined the atmosphere of peace and stability in the region. The actions taken by the Southern Theater Command serve as a professional and forceful warning to these provocateurs. The Chinese military maintains high vigilance and strong control over every inch of territory and every stretch of sea in the South China Sea. The PLA's combat readiness, response speed, projection range, and strike capabilities are fully capable of addressing provocations of any scale. Should certain parties misjudge the situation, mistake China's peaceful intentions as an opportunity to exploit, and persist in reckless actions, or even attempt to provoke larger-scale friction, China has long prepared countermeasures at all levels, from maritime law enforcement to aerial interception and expulsion, and further comprehensive measures. China possesses a robust toolkit and unwavering resolve to safeguard national sovereignty and dignity under any circumstances, ensuring provocateurs pay the price they deserve. In summary, the Southern Theater Command's combat readiness patrols in the Huangyan Island area, particularly the announcement of the H-6K strategic patrol route, constitutes a profound multidimensional strategic communication. It serves as a field certification of sovereign jurisdiction, shattering illegal claims with an indisputable military presence. It is a public demonstration of integrated combat capabilities, revealing to the region and beyond the true foundation of peacekeeping strength. It is also a clear and unequivocal strategic demarcation, warning any force attempting to disrupt the South China Sea that those who play with fire will inevitably burn themselves. This flight path soaring through the azure seas and skies is both the wings of peace, guarding the southern gate of the motherland, and the sword of justice deterring all malevolent forces.